Welcome to SBA's online training course, Buying a Business. SBA's Office of Entrepreneurship Education provides this self-paced training exercise as an overview of how to buy a business and of the resources available to help you buy a business. It will take about 30 minutes to complete the course. Additional time will be needed to review included resource materials and to complete the suggested next steps at the end of the course. Audio is used throughout the training, so please adjust your speakers accordingly. A transcript and keyboard shortcuts are available to assist with user accessibility. When you complete the course, you will have the option of receiving a completion certificate from the SBA. The course has 3 key objectives. 1. Identify the advantages and disadvantages of buying a business. 2. Describe the steps involved in buying a business. 3. Identify the resources available to assist in buying a business. This course covers areas such as how and what to research about a business that you are interested in purchasing, how to determine the value of a business, and how to transfer ownership of a business. Let's get started. Buying an existing business can be less risky than starting a new business from scratch because the existing business is already generating cash flow and has established customers, reputation, and employees. However, it is important that you ensure that you are making the right choice in your new venture. Even though there are steps you can take to help make the best decision, only you can determine the right business for your needs. The first step is to decide whether buying a business is the best option for you. Let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of buying a business. It helps you choose the option that works best for you. One of the advantages is that you may be able to acquire legal rights to patents and trademarks, which may increase profitability. In addition, buying a business involves reduced startup costs and immediate cash flow and inventory. However, the downside is that the purchasing cost may be considerably higher than the cost of starting a new business. This could be the case because of the initial business concept, customer base, brand, and other fundamental work that has already been completed. There could also be existing problems associated with the business, such as debts that you may inherit. Here are the steps to start with when you decide to buy a business. The first step is to pick an industry that you are familiar with and understand. Next, consider your interest, skills, and experience to help you eliminate unrealistic business ventures. The third step is to list your conditions of purchase, such as location, size, and time commitment. It is also important that you find answers to questions like, are you willing to buy a business with multiple locations? After you have considered these factors, look for businesses in your preferred location that meet your requirements. Finally, hire a business broker who finds buyers and helps you negotiate deals, pre-screens businesses for you, helps you pinpoint your interest, and assists with paperwork. The next step in buying a business is to put together an acquisition team consisting of lawyers, bankers, and accountants. The acquisition team will be able to advise and help you address specific items before you enter into a business agreement or transaction. This process is called due diligence. After due diligence is completed, you will know what you are buying and from whom. Due diligence begins with an initial research of the business that you are interested in buying. Your acquisition team would be able to help you find answers to questions like, why is the business for sale? How is this business perceived? What is the future of the business? Will the business stay profitable? And how has the company evolved over time? Then reach out to business associations and organizations to ensure that there are no complaints filed against the business you are buying. You should also speak to customers and suppliers about their relationship with the company. If you are satisfied with the results of your initial research, then the next step would be for your acquisition team to inquire about an asking price. You should refer back to your initial research while determining the value of a business. Take into consideration factors like inventory, office equipment and property, liabilities, debts, accounts receivable, market history and reputation, and location. There are a number of different methods that help you determine a fair and equitable price for the purchase of a business. Among these methods are asset-based approach, market-based approach, and income-based approach. In asset-based approach, the value of the business is determined based on the costs to replace the tangible assets. If the earnings will not support a value greater than the assets, then at best, the value of a business is the value of its tangible assets. The market-based approach forms an indication of value using ratios or factors. The ratios or factors are derived from the earnings, sales, and/or assets of past transactions of similar businesses. They are then applied to the subject company's sales, earnings, and/or assets to derive an indication of value. The third method, income-based approach, derives indications of value by converting some levels of earnings into a value using a capitalization rate, discount rate, or a multiple thereof. For more information, refer to SCORE's article on How to Value Your Business. Business owners have several options when it comes to transferring ownership rights to another person or entity. These options are outright sale, gradual sale, and lease agreement. Click each option to learn more. To buy a business officially, you need to prepare a sales agreement. The sales agreement is the key document in buying the business assets or finalizing the purchase of the business. This agreement defines everything that you intend to purchase, including business assets, customer lists, intellectual property, and goodwill. It is important that you have a lawyer who can help you draft the terms of the sales agreement and review it before you sign it. The final step to buying a business is the closing. You need to follow a checklist for closing on a business. It is important that you address all of the items listed on the checklist at the time of closing. Click the button to view the details of the items listed on the checklist. The transition process starts before the deal is complete. At this stage, you should make sure the owner feels good about what is going to happen to the business after he or she leaves. You may talk to key employees, customers, and suppliers before you take over the business. Inform them of your future plans and goals for the business, and make the transition easier for them and you by getting them involved. Finally, ensure that the seller provides business operations training. It is important to include a training plan in your contract and confirm whether the seller is open to consultations on an as-needed basis. We are at the end of this course. Here are some key points to remember. Before you buy a business, the first step is to decide whether buying a business is the best option for you. Pick an industry that you are familiar with and understand. Put together an acquisition team to advise and help you address specific items before you enter into a business agreement or transaction. Start the transition process before the deal is made by ensuring that the owner feels good about what is going to happen to the business after he or she leaves. Now what should you do? Follow these steps to begin applying your knowledge of buying an existing business to actual practice. Step 1. Identify the industry in which you would like to purchase a business. Step 2. Consult with a business mentor, coach, or other seasoned business advisor. And Step 3. Use the gathered information to begin the process of buying a business.